All right. So this came across my inbox yesterday, and Mark Nepo. Does everybody know Mark Nepo? I've read. Let's see, where's the book? I have a book that I've read a variety of things of his to you over the years, and this is kind of, I don't know, I guess you could call it a poem, but really not a poem, just kind of a saying that he has. And it's called Not a One. A funny thing happened on my way to being awake. I outgrew all my masks. Not a one fit. Not the one I called my past. Not the one I called my dream. Not the one I wore when I was sad, or the one I wore when trying to be happy. I saved them all like favorite shirts I thought would fit when I became myself again. But that was just a mask, too. Then, just the other day, I was more present than lost and had to put down the mask I called my story. And today, a gust of light filled my face. I felt it on my skin and in my soul. And now anything is possible. All right, so let's come to a comfortable seat and sit up straight and tall and think about, as you kind of soften the face, the muscles of the face, and relax. Think about all of the masks that you wear. How if you gathered up, 10 different people from various aspects in your life, they would know a different you. And the way we project ourselves into the world, and how is that authentic? And how do you sometimes put on a mask to either present yourself in a different way or cover yourself in a certain way? So as you relax your face, imagine that feeling of letting all the ways that you express your authentic self and express maybe your inauthentic self, or the way you feel you should be presented to the world, or the attachment to your stories that you have. See if you can release a little bit of that tension and just imagine all of these masks dissolving, that you don't have to be any specific way, that you can just be you. And you are enough, and you are accepted, and you are loved and cherished just for being you. And what would happen if we let go of our perceptions around who we are? What if we could just allow whatever is in this moment to arise? What would you be putting down? What mask do you feel strongly that you would let go of? Is there any time in your life when you don't meet things with authenticity? Maybe it's conditioning, maybe it's expectation, maybe it's not wanting to disappoint. Whatever it is, see if you can just let your face itself relax, your skull relax, the base of your skull relax, behind your eyes, behind your cheekbones, the root of your tongue, and your upper and lower palate, even your teeth. Go deep into your skull and notice if there's any tension, and see what you can do to melt all of that fascia inside your head. And then allow the softness to kind of penetrate down through your neck, your shoulders. Bring your awareness into your breath. What would happen if you just allowed yourself to open up to each moment, kind of like when you wake up in the morning and you open up to the new day and you're not even sure what it would be like when you open the window and look outside? Now, can you open up to the freshness of yourself in this moment? Anything is possible. And as you bring your hands together, can you make part of your intention a commitment to allowing your authentic self to shine forth today in your world? No matter who you meet or what responsibilities you have or parts you need to play in the world today, can you show up authentically? And release your hands. And let's find our way onto our back. All right. So as you stretch out and lengthen your body, enjoy. Remember to always enjoy. Okay, try to savor your practice like you savor warm sunshine on your face, or rain falling down, or the fresh new breeze of the morning, or the flowers that are popping up, or any of the things that are transient that you savor and cherish. Can you do the same with the feelings in your body, the sensations in your body? So as you stretch your arms overhead, just notice what feels good about this as you start to stretch, reaching one side and reaching the other. And draw your knees into your chest and rock a little bit, swaying from side to side. All right, and then let's hang on to the knees and circle, kind of rolling your knees one direction a few times, and rolling your knees the other direction a few times. And then open up your knees away from the midline, bring them back in toward the midline, and just enjoy the sense of range of motion in your hips. All right, right knee into your chest, left leg long on the ground, and let's move about in your ankles and roll around in your feet and enjoy each little bone opening up. Remember to stay heavy in your head. Remember to stay soft in your face. Let's switch sides, left knee in, right leg long on the ground, and move about again, wiggling your toes and rolling around in your ankles, feeling a sense of heaviness through your skull. Breathing deeply, and then open up to a star and reach your body really wide. Roll around in your wrists and your ankles, feel the edges of your body come alive. And then as you exhale, draw your knees into your chest and give a snug little hug. One more time, expanding on your in-breath, open wide. Exhale, draw your knees in and round your back a bit. Put your head back down, keep your knees in. Let's come to a happy baby. And if this is too much, too early, hold behind your knees instead of your feet. Maybe a little bit of rocking, a little bit of moving through your spine if that feels good. All right, and then put your right foot on your left knee or cross your right thigh over your left thigh and come into a reverse pigeon or, eagle legs, and just go ahead and move about if you want, saying hello to that rotation in your hip, opening up your glutes a little bit. And switch sides. Put your left foot on your right knee. Draw that knee in toward your chest or cross your left thigh over your right thigh, whatever feels better. Experiment with some mobility or be very still. See what your body likes. And generally speaking, warming up with some mobilization is a good thing to do. Static holds are really good for like if you're exercising any form of classic exercise, better to warm up with some movement and cool down with some stretch holds. Okay. All right, and then let's reach out into space again one more time, a big star. Exhale, knees into your chest, and let's roll to your right side. Stay on your side for a moment. You can always put a block under your head if you need it. Stack your knees, feet, and hands, right angles with your hips and knees. And let's open up to a twist here. So reach back with that left arm, touch the ground, turn your head, and then come back. And see if you can match this movement with your breath. If that feels good for you, maybe a big breath in as you open up and a breath out as you close back up. Enjoy the twist through the thoracic spine and through the heart space, the opening up. And then roll to your other side. Stack everything again, knees and feet and hands, and we'll open up to a twist. And it's your choice whether you like your knees to stay grounded together or if it feels more comfortable to let them slide. There's nothing wrong with letting your pelvis move with your spine. This can enhance the full twisting of your spine, but if you want the twist to kind of hang out more in your thoracic spine, you can try keeping your knees together. And just see what feels better to your body today. When you feel ready again, stretch out one more time to a star. Draw the knees into the chest and roll to the side. Come up to your hands and your knees. Okay. As you find all fours, let's enjoy that grounding feeling. Okay. And then start to move your body in some cat-cows. You can round the spine and arch the spine. And let's be so thankful for the ways our bodies are able to move. Feeling deep gratitude for each vertebrae and how it's moving. How's your breath? When you feel ready, you can start to invite whatever kind of movement you want into your spine. So feel free to roll around in your rib cage and move about in your pelvis, move around in your neck, anything that feels nice. And stretch back towards the child's pose and feel those shoulders stretch open even more. Feel the groundedness of your pelvis. Breathing well. Let's walk our hands over to one side or the other. So we're feeling that reach and space in our body, feeling the groundedness of our sit bones. Open up through your shoulder and your ribs and breathe deeply. Back the other way, inch your hands over to the side and feel that rib cage open. Drop some weight into the hips. Full breaths. And then come back to center. Come up onto all fours, finding your movement again. And let's find a twist. Reaching one arm up in the air. Exhale, slide the shoulder down, twisting the spine. Let the ribs move as you breathe. And feel free to turn toward the floor a little bit more with your chest so you stretch the back side of the shoulder. Your hips can drop a little further down toward your pelvis if that feels good. And inhale and bring that arm back up in the air. Hand comes down. Switching sides, arm up. Exhale, slide that arm under. Enjoy every bit of your practice, every breath,
Every nook and cranny of sensation that you feel, try to be really present for it. There's no expectations of how you are supposed to feel or move, just of being aware. And then square the chest a little bit more toward the ground if you'd like, stretching your shoulder a different way. Hips can drop down toward the heels. All right, and then inhale, reach that arm back up in the air. Hand down onto the ground. Let's find a dog pose. Okay. So as you come up into this posture, take some time, have a little time to pedal your feet, dropping one heel down, dropping the other. Remember, we're mobilizing to warm up our body. Feel free to move your hips around or anything that feels good. Maybe your head likes to do some movement. And open your feet, open your hands, yield and push to reach. Melt through your face one more time, relaxing. Try to take away perceived expectation. Even your expressions oftentimes are very habituated depending on your circumstances. Let's release any tension in your face. All right, walk your feet forward, come to Uttanasana. Relax your head. Okay. Ground down through the four corners of your feet. Inhale for a halfway lift. Melt to fold again. One more time, the halfway lift. Getting long and spacious in the spine. Exhale to release. Push through your feet, rising up. Bring the arms to the sky, feeling that extension. Open up through your arms. Let's cactus and open your chest up. And exhale and round your sternum or your chest in. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Feel one more time, spreading those wings, and then take your hands behind your back, interclasp your fingers behind your back, and come forward into a forward fold. Like me, you can always use a strap if you need. Okay. All right, so open up those shoulders, feel your back open up, bend your knees as much as you need to, and let your neck release. All right, and release the arms down. Inhale for a halfway lift. Notice your legs now, so hands on blocks. Yesterday we did all that work on learning how to forward bend well. So let's engage the core a little bit. Feel your femur bones draw up and back. Draw your feet down and wide. Feel your sit bones lift a little bit. You feel free to stretch the back of your knees. So you don't want to be in a very hyperextended space, but don't hesitate to open up the backs of the legs all the way from heel to sit bones. When your next exhale comes, melt and relax a little bit. Let's step back to a dog pose. Feeling into that extension again. Maybe you're still enjoying some movement. Maybe you're ready for some stillness. How's your breath? Start to feel your way into the full inhales and exhales. Let's come forward into a plank. Drop your shoulders away from your ears, stretch your heels back, line up your body in one plank, breathing well. When you're ready, you can put your knees down, find the ground. Take a roll of the shoulders, and when you're ready, inhale, open up to a cobra. Melt to fold back down. Enjoy opening up the front of your spine. Reach your shoulders back, come on up again. Exhale, melting toward the floor. Take your left knee up high toward your armpit and look at your knee, just stretching your back in a unique way. We're going to twist here. Take your right arm underneath you and twist open. Relax your head down. Feel that melting. Feel the breath and open up across your chest. Come back to center. Are you enjoying your body? Okay, let's bring the right knee up high toward your armpit. Take a look at that knee. Feel the body stretch. Feel your body breathe. And then when you're ready, we'll take the left arm underneath and slide it under to a twist. Right arm opening up big and wide. Put the hand on the ground if you can. Let the knee leave the floor as much as you need. Try not to overtax the spine, but we're opening up into a nice twist. Enjoy the rib cage mobility as you breathe. And then come back to center, straighten that leg, come up onto all fours, wiggle around in your spine. Notice how free you're starting to feel. Things are changing moment by moment. Spread your hands and lift to a dog pose. Feeling that extension and length again. Let's reach the right leg up in the air and stack it open and breathe into the side of your body, the front of your hip, your belly, your ribs. Feel free to bend your knee or straighten it. And square your hips up again. Put that foot down. Switch sides. Leg up, stack open. Feel free to bend your knee. Reach your knee or your whole leg away from your shoulder. Find your breath. And square things up again. Put that foot down onto the ground. Walk your feet forward. Deepen that Uttanasana. Notice your body changing as you move. Inhale for a halfway lift. And feel the softness as you melt. Relax your head. Let's bobble your head just a little bit here. Okay, grab onto the base of your skull. A little bit of a tug down toward the ground and in. Feel all those muscles around your spine open. And then push through your feet and rise up. Hands are still on the back of your head. Open up across your chest. Very gently press your hand there. All right, and then release your arms. Take your left arm and put it on your right bicep. Take the right hand behind your head and stretch that open. And just feel your thoracic spine open up a little bit here. Okay, coming back, switching sides. Right hand on left bicep. Take that hand to the base of the skull and reach and open up across the thoracic spine. And then relax. Give your arms a little bit of movement. And we're going to do a standing twist here. So feet are hip width apart or a little bit wider, your choice. And just enjoy moving. Now your breath gets a little, your diaphragm gets a little compression in this pose. So enjoy that. Breathe your way into the movement. Try not to hold your breath. And arms swinging out to the sides. Let your hips move. Let your heel move. Maybe the arms can come up. All right. Bounce here for a moment. Let's just get some fluid moving in your body and jiggling through your lymph. You know how when you have salad dressing in the fridge and it's separated and you take it out and you shake it? Okay, so just let your body be like that, or, kind of letting things that have been stuck get unstuck. All right, and then up onto your toes. Take your time getting there. Reach your arms up. Heels down, arms back. Inhale up. One more time, we're going to come up onto our toes. Feeling that breath You can always take your arms out a little wider if that helps your balance. And then slowly lower your feet down. Okay. Be still for a moment and just notice all the things that are happening in your body right now. Fill your breath and empty it out. Feel your sense of ground, that yielding into the earth. We're going to stand on our right leg and bring our left thigh over. So I know it's early for a balance pose, but here we are. So let's do this. Okay, squat down. You can always put your butt against a wall or a piece of furniture or hang on with your hand if you need. Because our right leg is down, we're going to put our left arm down. So always remember the opposite arm is on top from the leg. Okay, so left leg is on top, right arm is on top. Squeeze. Squeeze everything you can. Widen your collarbones and breathe deeply under your armpits. Unwind your body, stretch your limbs really wide, and then relax and stand into Asana one more time. And just notice what goodness you're doing for your body here. This side, let's start with the arms. So we know we're going to stand on our left leg with our right leg on top. So now put your left arm on top. Drop the shoulders, open across your collarbones, lift the elbows, and then ground into your left foot and cross your right leg over. Which way did you prefer? Starting with your legs or starting with your arms? It doesn't really matter, but some ways might help your balance or your alignment a little better, so figure out what works for you. Squeeze your legs, squeeze your elbows, open your breath into your armpits, widen your collarbones. Then we'll unwind the posture, a standing star. Take your legs, turn sideways on your mat so you're nice and wide in your legs. Big breath. Release your arms down. Turn your feet out and let's just dive into our legs a little bit here. So drop down into that squat. Opening up your legs here, root your feet. Finding your breath. Some big inhales, some big exhales. And then come all the way up to stand. Turn your right foot out and let's come into Parsvakonasana. Elbow on your knee and stretch and lengthen through your body. A deep grounding in your legs. Feel your roots. We're going to keep our legs where we are, but we're going to move our upper body here. So come to a reverse warrior. And then back down to Parsvakonasana. Be very mindful of your core supporting you as you go. One more time to a reverse. And now back to Parsvakonasana. We'll come up to stand and turn our feet the other way. So our left foot is going to turn out now. Find your breath. Come down into Virabhadrasana or Parsvakonasana on this side. Stretching through your side body. Feel the dropping of your weight. Put it into your feet. Open up the breath. Full inhale. Full exhale. And then we'll keep the legs. Reverse your warrior. Open up through your ribs. Enjoy your breath. And then back to Parsvakonasana. Big breaths, long spine, move your tail toward your back foot, ground into your feet. One more time, reverse your warrior, feeling those rib cage open up. And one more time, Parsva Konasana. Let's back up. Let's turn our feet back to the right side. And we'll do some movement here in Virabhadrasana. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Come into Vira 2. Inhale. You can bring your arms up if you want. And you don't have to. Maybe you'd like to bring your arms in. But we're just finding some fluidity of our movement. Finding your breath. All right, let's just stay for a couple of breaths here, feeling that groundedness. Relax the shoulders. Again, melt through your face. Full up in your chest. Feel your breath get deep and full. Even weight through your legs. All right, relax your arms down, straighten your legs. Stand for a moment. Find a full breath. And we'll move to the second side. So again, we're going to find that mobility. So start with your arms up. Deep breath. Let the breath take you into your movements. The next time you get around to your Virabhadrasana, hang out here for a bit, drop your shoulders, stretch heart to hands, move into the earth with your feet. Check that alignment of your legs. Your front knee should track middle toes on top of your heel. Big breaths. Straighten that leg. Turn your feet, both of them forward, and come down with straight legs and melt your skull. Relax your neck. Maybe you can bobble about. Maybe you want your head to rest on the floor or on a block. Just find what works for your body. Try to keep your ears up or your shoulders up away from your ears. Letting those hamstrings open wide. And then we're going to turn one more time toward the front of your mat for a dog pose. Take your feet back to neutral territory so they're hip width apart. Melt your skull, relax your face again. Feel the ease of this posture. Root to rise. Come forward into a plank. Shoulders over your wrists. Drop your shoulders away from the ears. Engage through your core. Let's find the ground. Take any variation that really feels good in your body of a back bend. Come on up onto your hands and your knees and move your spine around. And settle back towards child's pose. Compress your legs for a moment. We're going to find our way into a lunge with your right foot in front. Grab some blocks. Put your back knee on the ground for a moment. And just stretch into those hip flexors of the back leg. Find your breath, press down through your front leg, reach your arm up. Maybe a little side stretch here if that feels good in your body. That helps me stretch my psoas a little bit more. And then we'll turn to a twist. So forearm on your knee, elbow to your knee, wherever you go. Let your breath expand. All right, come back to neutral. Hands on blocks, curl your back toe under, lift your knee. And let's bend and straighten the front knee. Notice doing this at this stage of our practice instead of closer to the beginning. Melt those exhales, elongate the exhales, rest in the exhales. Either ground your back heel down for Vira 1 or keep your back heel up for crescent lunge, whichever feels better in your body right now. Reach and lengthen upward. Feel the enjoyment of that open heart. Are you enjoying every pose as it arises in your body? Back foot lifts up, bring it forward, come to Uttanasana. Notice the depth of your forward fold. Relax your neck. A halfway lift, opening up. Relax again. Stepping your left foot forward, right foot comes back this time. Plant your knee down. Come into a deep lunge. So put a little extra padding underneath your knee if you need it. So you can feel that hip stretcher, hip flexor stretch open. All right, and then inhale, reach that arm up, maybe a little bit over to the side. Just kind of find what gives you a sense of stretch through that psoas muscle. Ground through your foot, ground through your back knee, support yourself. And we'll turn this into a twist. So forearm can be on your knee, hand, or an elbow. Open up into the twist, let your rib cage expand. Feel the hugging toward the midline with your legs, press your front foot down. Try not to collapse into your low back, remember your core. And release that. Lift your back knee off the ground. Come into some moving lunges, okay? So hands on blocks. Remember to lengthen your exhales a lot. So as that front leg straightens, give yourself time to be there. All right, now whatever pose you did before, whether it was crescent lunge or Vira 1, let's find the same posture. Ground down through your legs and inhale, rise up. Root to rise. Whoa. See if you can feel your rib cage lifting off your hips. Stay grounded in your legs. Reach your heart and extend. Find your breath. You're ready to come back. Let's find a dog pose. So bring your hands down onto your mat and lengthen through your body. Full breaths here. In and out. Stretch the back of your legs well. Feel your femur bones up and back. Root through your hands and push off to feel the reach of your ribs. Melt your neck. Come forward into a plank. Remember your core. Shoulders away from the ears. Find the ground. Index finger mounds, root. Breathing deeply. Okay, we'll put our knees on the ground and find the earth. Take a different variation. I'm going to do a super person pose. Maybe you want to do that. Maybe you want to do up dog. Maybe you want to do a sphinx pose. Just find a back bend, and you can take any variation with your arms if you're in a super person pose. All right. And then relax. Put your head on your hands. Pick up your feet, and let's windshield wiper our knees. My hope is that you're just very much enjoying your practice, that we're moving in lots of different directions. You know, we're not moving toward an apex pose, we're just kind of dancing around the world in our body. And my hope is that you're enjoying your body, you're enjoying being present with your mind body. Come on up. Find your way onto all fours and move around in your spine. Let's wag your tail a little bit. Now, I'm gonna do, a sort of extreme quad stretch. So if this isn't a good pose for you, lie down on your right side and grab onto your left heel and stretch your quad. Otherwise, we're gonna come into a lunge with your right foot in front, and we're gonna reach back. Now you can always use a strap around your ankle if you can't reach. So you can put your left hand on the ground, or you can put your left hand on a block. We'll find a twist here, and then we're gonna reach back and grab your foot, okay? If this is too much of a posture for you, remember that you can always lie down on your side, grab your heel and stretch your quad. Okay. Open up, lean forward. So this becomes a hip flexor and a quadricep stretch at the same time. Drop your shoulder blades down your back. Try not to let your knee fall out. Press down through your big toe. Then we'll come out of that pose and find our way to the second side. Okay, left foot in front, or if you're on your side, roll over to your other side to grab your foot. You can always use a strap no matter what pose you're in. You can use a strap to wrap around your heel or ankle if you can't reach. Okay, if you're doing the twist standing pose version of a quad stretch, your hand can be on the block or your hand can be on the floor. Reach your left arm, grab onto your right foot, pick that foot up and twist. Remember to keep your left knee from falling out. We're drawing it into the midline, press through your foot, lunge forward. So let your body lean forward a little bit, your pelvis move forward so that you can stretch both your quad and your hip flexor together. Ready to be done. We'll come out of there and just find child's pose again. Relax, soften your hip flexors. Let your back open up and breathe. All right, so next we're going to do a pigeon pose, and depending on your body, maybe you'd like to do fire log instead. Maybe you'd like to lie on your back and cross one thigh over the other. Maybe you'd like to do reverse pigeon. Maybe you'd like to sit up in Baddha Konasana and pull your feet a little bit away from you and just come forward into a hip stretch. So all of the choices that you know for getting that rotation stretch in your hip is great. Okay, I'm gonna do pigeon pose, right leg forward. I stretch that left leg back. I'll cue pigeon, but the cues are really all the same. Okay, so when our front leg is in that rotation, we want to make sure our knee is feeling safe, our ankle, our hip joint, our SI joint. So check in with your joints. If you're in pigeon pose, your back leg, let it be straight back instead of out to the side. Try not to let your foot sickle in. Everything's long. Breathe into the extension of the posture, and then when you're ready, you can come down and maybe rest your head on a block, or maybe your head rests on your hands, whatever feels right. If you're in reverse pigeon pose, let the back of your head melt. So whatever you're doing, we're widening the sit bones and feeling a lot of length in the spine. When you feel ready, there's zero rush to come out of this pose. So allow your body to stay. If you're really deeply in and want to stay, come out when you're ready and switch to the other side. The joy of doing these deep hip stretches toward the end of the practice is that your body's really warm from everything we've done. So there's a lot of depth that can happen in a pose like this. So again, make sure your leg is straight back behind you. If you're doing pigeon pose, we're not sickling our foot, squaring the hips no matter what pose you're in, feeling the length of your spine. And when you're ready to come down, make sure you have something to rest your head on, either your hands or a block. If you're on your back, rest the back of your head onto the ground. So try to take the work that your neck and shoulders always want to do out of the equation. Square hips, wide sit bones, long spine. Melt your face. Whenever you're ready, there's no rush. If you're like, oh, I'm just so in this, then just stay. Follow the path that you're on. Breathe your way there. And whenever you're ready to join, you come out of the pose. And just notice how some days things are easier than other days. Okay, so try to pay attention to your fluctuations in your movements, in your capacity to stretch and be deep in postures. All right, let's come to lie down on your back when you're ready. We're going to take a block underneath our pelvis for a very supported bridge pose, low block. Pause here for a moment. We're going to lift our legs up in a moment, but first, just give yourself an opportunity to neutralize the pelvis after doing those asymmetrical poses. There's not a lot of work that has to happen in this pose. The block is supporting you. Your legs don't have to do the work. Start to balance out your hips. And when you feel ready, bring your knees toward your chest and give yourself a little bit of a traction hug. So knees in, let that block open up your low back a little bit. And then we'll lift our legs straight up in the air. So we began our practice with some movement for our lymph, and now we'll end our practice with some movement for our lymph. So having inversions in your life on the regular is a good thing. You can always throw in a leg up the wall pose anytime you want. You know, if you're tired, and just get on the floor and put your legs up a wall. It's such a great way to give yourself a 10-minute rejuvenation sometime during the day when you are feeling fatigue. Maybe you've been on your feet a lot and you just need a break. It's a wonderful way to replenish yourself. I know we're not using a wall, we're just in the middle of space, and it's a lot more relaxing when you do this against a wall where your legs can just really rest against something. But even without the wall, you get all the benefit of the lymph and blood flow dropping away from your feet. All right, let's open the legs. Just stretch through those inner thighs one more time. Up. And then put your feet down onto the ground. Lift your hips, pelvis on the earth. Let's move our hips over to the right, knees come up, drop left. If you want a different twist, take a different twist. You can do anything you want with your legs. And then come back to center. Shift your hips the other way, drop your knees down. Twisting open. Any variations that you'd like to do. And find your way back. Let's find Shavasana. Lying on our back. Take any support that your body needs. If you want to put a blanket over you, if you want some support underneath your knees or under your head, anything that you need for your favorite variation of Shavasana for today. Make sure you're warm, make sure you don't have any bright lights in your face, make sure your body feels supported. As you get comfortable and start to melt, one of the very best things you can do is to release your limbs and your spine. Just give your weight over to the earth. The very best thing you can do is breathe well. Feel your head drop down into the ground. All the muscles around your face and skull can totally relax. Soften your tongue and your jaw. Begin to deepen our breathing. And take your time, move slowly as you start to move your body. Maybe start with just your ankles and wrists and fingers and toes. Eventually, taking your time, maybe bring your knees into your chest or have a big stretch. When you feel ready, you can come up to a comfortable seat. Taking your time to find your way to your side. As you find a seat that's comfortable, close your eyes and one more time relax through your face. No expression needed, just melt. Feel your way into your breath. When you're ready, bring your hands to your heart. And let's offer the energy of our practice. Share with those in your life that you love, maybe with people you don't even know. Okay, wherever you want to send your blessings, your energy, your intentions outward to. Namaste. Okay, thank you, everyone.